Hey everybody, Jerome Maldonado. I wanted to talk to you guys today about single family development. Look, we're living in a time where the housing market is absolutely ridiculous as far as inventory, the lack of, and everything that's happening nationwide as far as material, inflation, hyperinflation. Lumber is crazy. Everything is so out of control right now. And one of the big things is that I've been in real estate development for over 25 plus years. Never in all my 25 years in business have I ever been in a position to look at the market and say, oh my goodness, I have got to take advantage of this. Now, if you'd asked me a year ago if this was going to happen, I would have said absolutely no way. In fact, you guys have probably heard me talk about how the housing market was going to get beat up and it was going to tank, and had no idea how the pandemic was going to affect this, how it was going to affect the inventory, and I would have never guessed that we would have this stimulated of a market. Here's the benefits to those of you guys watching this video, and here's the benefits to everybody who's working along the side of me. As I sit back practicing an area of real estate that I've been a professional in for well over 20 plus years. I've mastered the ability to go out and project manage developments, construction, single family home development, commercial development, but where we're really going to hit a home run is on our single family home development. And so one thing, if you guys haven't learned about me already, is that I'm a research guy. I never was a technical person. In fact, if you would have asked me 25, 30 years ago when I was finishing up college, if I would have been the person that was the most analytical, I would have sit back and laughed at you, because I would have not fit myself in that category whatsoever. But through the means of being in business, getting beat up several times, and understanding the need to know exactly what is in front of me, I became an analytical person and very conservative in a nature that fits the benefits of driving a successful development company, because it's all number-based. It's all number-based. Everything has to do with the numbers in developing and in real estate and everything else. And here's what's cool, is that we're sitting back taking down apartment buildings, hotel buildings, industrial warehouse buildings. I still have my developments going, still have housing going, and I have dirt that I was holding off on because not knowing what the pandemic was going to do to affect the real estate market. I was apprehensive. Then I sit back and I start studying nationwide other markets, and I'm sitting back going to North Carolina, I'm going to Texas, I'm going to Austin, to Dallas, in Utah, Arizona, Nevada. I'm everywhere, going to Boise, Idaho, and then hence I wasn't even going up to the Northwest. And I sit back and I have a gentleman sending me information, asking my advice, asking my recommendations, asking me what I think about certain sectors of real estate and what's being affected by it. I curiously start doing research, and I sit back and I start scratching my head and go, holy shit, I have an opportunity right under my nose in a profession, in an industry that I've been specializing in for over 20 plus years. I need to take advantage of this. Jump on a plane, drive halfway across the country, all the way up north, and I sit back and I start unfolding deals. Before I even get there, we're already shopping and building out developments. And so lo and behold, we have new developments, new opportunities because of what's happening. And the security behind it is that there's a lack of inventory on the market that isn't going to get fixed overnight. In fact, so much so that I sit back and I look at the big builders. I look at D.R. Horton. I look at all the energy codes. I look at what's happening right now with the Biden administration and some of the incentives that they're trying to give to builders and developers to go out and motivate them to sell new homes. And I sit back and go, we can only take advantage of this stuff. Now, I'm just excited to be a part of it, because never in my life did I think that I would live to see a day that the government was going to give us such incentives to go in and start building single-family homes new to be able to relieve the single-family home crisis. And some people sit back and say, Jerome, why are you building so dense? Why are you going in there and creating so much housing? Because there's a need. I didn't have all the babies. I'm not the one that created the mass need for real estate. All I know is I see an opportunity, and I sit back and I'm going to take advantage of it. And so we sit back in a day and age now where we're looking at the inventory crisis, and the population has grown. We have all these millennials that are now at an age that they are in need of buying a single family home. And so who better to supply them with that than myself or yourself? So look, I create a program. It's called, through the Elite Real Estate Society. And I've been talking a lot about it. It's how to go out and develop and redevelop real estate successfully. But not only the development and redevelopment of real estate, it's the processes that we've utilized that make what we do work. And it's not the process of going out and developing the real estate the way that normal people do it. What ends up happening and what benefits us the most in everything that we're doing today is the fact that we've been able to go out and through the means of construction, we found a process of how to develop real estate correctly. Because when I got started in construction, I was broke, I was poor. I hadn't made a ton of money. Through the means of network marketing and direct sales in my early years, I made a bunch of money. The FTC shut us down. I was left broke and starving again at a young age. And I sat back and said, okay, how do I fix this? And on accident, I found out that there was tons of money in the construction industry. And through pouring concrete and slabs and foundations and concrete stem walls just like this, I made millions and millions of dollars. But it was the systems that I put together at a very young age that was the most pinnacle part of my success, where I sat back and said, okay, I can't afford to make a mistake, because if I do, I have nothing to fall back on, because I had nothing. And so I sat back and said, okay, every single dollar that I made counted, and I had to make it count. So I had to create a system where I was able to manage my labor so tight that there was zero waste. How I went in and I actually structured jobs and I reverse engineered each project so that every single job was profitable. And so I've been in business since the 90s, and since the 90s, I've never lost money, not even on one construction project. And people sit back and they scratch their head and they go, how do you do that? And it's through the means of the processes that we've utilized for well over 20 plus years that makes our construction and project management skills help our real estate. And so what I did is I put together a program that sits back and teaches investors, people, if you're a fix and flip person, if you're exercising the burst strategy, if you're a multifamily value add professional, exercising Class C real estate and doing value add, and you're redeveloping and making it more financially viable, how to bring more profits to the table, cut down on waste, cut down on labor, and be able to bring larger profits to the table. And so all this and more. And what's cool is that people now have the opportunity not only to invest in our subdivisions and what we're doing, but they have the means to be able to go out, and if you are already are a professional in the real estate industry, whether it's residential or commercial, you could benefit from all of our courses, all of the processes that we've been teaching, and everything that we've been exercising for over 20 plus years. And so what I'm going to do on this one, this was really more of an informational post. It isn't intended to be like a sales post, but since I kind of led that direction, I'm going to put the link down below. If you have interest in being able to get on the phone with myself or somebody in my office, and you would like a free strategy call on how you could take advantage of what I'm talking about in regards to learning how to project manage when you're developing or redeveloping real estate, or if you're somebody that's sitting back going, you know what, I would love to just be able to build one home and generate a profit and learn how to develop land and just build one home, then click below, put in a request to meet and talk with somebody in my office, and I'll look forward to talking with you, or we'll look forward to having somebody in our office, in our team, talk with you, and I look forward to working with you in the near future.